Wow, that was very streamlined. I think we're live on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook and all over the globe.
Yeah, that
Greg,
was quick.
yeah, Greg, it's the magic of now, the new world. Greg Gamble, Noble Host. We're talking about AI that is designed to elevate and enhance the human element of hospitality. And I am Michelle Oliver. Welcome to Expitality Outdoors, the experience of hospitality, because the experience of hospitality truly does transform the world. And today we are going to share with you what you really need to know, not just about outdoor hospitality, but about hospitality indoors, outdoors, wherever you are in the world. Greg, I'm so excited to learn from you today. And we are going to talk about the human aspect of hospitality, but how it can be facilitated with AI, right? Am I on target there?
That's right on point. No, I appreciate your time today, Michelle. I'm looking forward to having some of these conversations. And yeah, it's been a fun year exploring how we can bring technology into hospitality. So I'm looking forward to reviewing those topics with you.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about who you are, first of all. There might be someone out there that doesn't yet know.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's
A little bit about me. I'm a multi-generational hotelier. So live and breathe this industry. Absolutely love hospitality. Um, Started back in the industry a little over a decade ago. Been working my way up, doing multiple property management. Worked for the big guys like Ambridge, worked for the local companies like Colorado Hospitality out here in Denver. And recently, in the past year, been working on some technology with developers that are local to our community, which is always great.
yeah.
And we've been building tools to help fill the gaps for hotels. So, having managed multiple properties, we used the real life issues that we were experiencing to create these technologies to elevate the guest experience and, more importantly, not replace the staff.
I
And
love that
we'll
you
get into
start with
details
that.
on that, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was good place to start for us too on that topic because when we built this company, it was originally Noble Stay. And about a few months ago, when we were launching our product, the first client for onboarding, during our review, we do a business review and digital blueprint of the business. And the CEO was taking notes, writing down names on people he was going to fire. So we put a pause on our company. That was not the product we wanted to release. So
Yeah.
we ended up putting a hold on our business for about 90 days to restructure because that's not what we want. And that's not what the traveler wants in hospitality. They don't want to just deal with technology. They want to have a human connection. So
Right.
we rebranded. We came out with Noble Host, and our tools are very affordable, but it's to elevate your team, make your team better, make your guest experience better. We're not trying to replace anyone. And that's the direction a lot of the technology is going. And that's why we stayed independent. We didn't partner with any big tech firm. We don't want to replace humans. Humans have a role in everything, especially in guest service. Guest service is the
Absolutely.
most important aspect of every business. You got to have the human.
Yeah.
There's just gaps. So that's where we come into play. We fill those gaps for people.
Okay, that was my next question is you did mention the gaps and every good product and service is really solving a problem, right? Or meeting a need. So what were some of the gaps that you saw in your
Yeah.
career? Like
So
why did you come up with
starting with the very basics, right? The front desk.
yeah,
A lot of businesses are just looking at the P&L, and that's the thing I actually despise about the industry is you have private equity firms, you have these huge management companies, you have Marriott, which lost hospitality. They have no comprehension of hospitality anymore. They went into this format where they look at the P&L and bottom line. So what do they do when times are tough? They cut staff. That's the first solution they have. Cut labor, cut, 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 cut. And so what we've been
oh boy.
noticing all over the country in the United States is the front desk experience. Call a hotel today. good luck, right? Good luck getting somebody to answer the phone. So what we did is we built a tool that runs 24 hours a day, speaks 30 languages,
Oh,
and that
really?
initial phone call, it answers and it will interact with the guest because 90% of the time, somebody just has a simple question. Is your restaurant open? Is there something my kids can walk to? Do you have a pool?
Early
What time is
check-in.
check-in? Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
very basic stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the way that AI can help us is take all the time-consuming tasks, put that on AI. Let
Mhm.
your front desk interact with the guest, have conversations with them, let them improve the guest experience. But all that boring work, give it to AI. So we have tools where front desk of a hotel, this will answer the phone, it'll talk to the guest, it can handle all the conversations. And if that needs to be escalated, the AI will transfer it. Now that representative is free. They're not answering calls about towels and pool times and, fitness facility stuff. They're free to handle the important questions for that guest.
The
So that's one
important
of the
ones.
first, most
Yeah.
basic tools that we develop. And, we'll spend 2 weeks with the hotel staff. What questions do you get asked? What would you like this to sound like? 100% custom. We don't sell tools that you can just throw in, right?
Yeah.
Like 90% of current AI is a tool you buy. You have to figure it out. It doesn't really fit your need, but you have to have AI. So you go buy
Right.
this tool and you implement
Right.
it, and it doesn't really work. It doesn't
No.
work. So that's where our company's so different. Small team. There's only a handful of us. We keep it really lean and we work directly with your staff. They know best. The owner doesn't know. The front desk manager knows. They know really what's going on, what they want to have their guest experience feel like. So we work with them. We'll build the agent from scratch. You pick the voice, you pick the gender, you pick the accent, you can pick how quickly they speak. So if you're in a market where a lot of retired
Interesting.
people come visit, your AI is going to talk slow. It's going to be very slow, no accents, nothing crazy. You're in a hot market like Times Square, we might have a British accent or something else. It's getting a little more quicker paced because
Yeah.
they want to get the job done. So yeah, we do full customization, 2 week onboarding with staff,
Oh,
and then we
wow.
test it. We do a 2 week trial. And so the staff can play with it, ownership, you can give it to a couple guests, get feedback. We take all the feedback and we modify that agent. And then at day 30, we go live. And now you have an agent built, trained, and tested for your hotel before going live.
This is brilliant. And there's something I want to mention about the concept that I like so very much, Greg. And that is simply that you are enhancing and expanding your team's ability to do what they should be doing, to do the one thing that's going to make a huge difference, right? Which is the face-to-face interacting, really doing what they should be doing instead of just being on the phone or all the simple things. And it's so true what you said about not to slam Marriott, but it's pretty much
Yeah,
big corporate anywhere. And I happen to know a lot of people, at Marriott and Sage, and what they do when these problems arise is exactly what you said. They contract, they start cutting everything. We're going to cut F&B, we're going to cut the music, we're going to push Bonvoy and cut staff. And how does that make sense? So what you're doing is
exactly.
saying use this new technology or this, like, it's not that new actually, it's been around, right?
Oh, yeah.
But use our new ability to understand the value and the nuances or whatever you guys are doing in the back end. And let's just use that to make our people better, to give them more space. And if you think about it, like every tool that's ever been invented, that's what it allows us to be more human. It allows us to be more creative, right? And not have to spend time on like washing dishes,
Exactly.
doing
No, and
laundry.
that's being in this industry for so long and growing up and looking at my dad's hotels. I
Yeah.
remember I would go to his hotels when I was a little kid and I loved it. Oh man. And these are five-star, five diamond, right? $2
Oh,
billion
wow.
asset. And
Wow.
everyone's laughing. Everyone's having fun. All the staff, it's a family. Longevity, your average employee back then was a decade. Anyone that did 3 years was a short term. You look at today's
Mm,
hospitality, everyone's turning over every 90 days, 6 months, and they don't care.
yeah.
They just walk to the next property because they lost that element. They lost the human
Yes.
touch. And it's killed me. It's really killed me to watch the industry I love just get
Yeah.
destroyed. And this is one of the key notes that everyone should really look at. There's a reason boutique single owner hotels are outperforming the big corporate hotels,
Yes.
right? They're not catching the nuance in there where that owner for single ownership boutique, he loves it. He breathes it. He understands his business.
That's right.
The big corporate doesn't care. They look at a P&L spreadsheet. They go through top line revenue. Oh, I should charge 30 cents more per
Right.
guest room
Yeah.
because at 20,000 guest rooms a year, I'm making, and it's not hot. That's not hotels. It has
No.
nothing to do with hotels. And the travelers getting very savvy. They feel it.
That's
And
right.
I know you felt this when you travel. I feel it when I travel. I can walk into a hotel and instantly know that's a toxic environment. I feel
Yeah.
it. I'll never be back. I'll never be back. Even though it's a great property, it might be clean, my kids love it. It's a good resort, but you feel the energy from staff. And
Yeah.
that's like the thing that's been absolutely destroying me for a few years. And it's nice to go on my own, have some tools where I can actually help these ownership groups, help them get back on track. Because that's the other piece to our brand. We do all the consulting as well. So if somebody wants to learn hotels a little bit better, it's just a tiny fee. I'll jump in rev calls. I'll get in with management. We help consult while we build these tools for them. If they need consulting about technology, my developers will do that. They will work with the hotel, teach them more about technology, not just these tools, because it's a long-term partnership, right? Our product is low cost, but it's a subscription base. We want these accounts for 10 plus years. Like we're not just trying to sell them a tool and never talk to them again. It's a relationship. And so that's what we do a lot. And it's very different than everyone else. We have access to all these communities and networks, and we want our business partners to succeed. It's the most important piece for us, right? They go away, I don't have a business. So it kind of works hand in hand, and we want them to succeed. And we share our resources. We know great chefs. We know everyone in all these different industries that can help out ownership groups outside of AI, right? That's what we want to bring back is that family element. Do
Yeah.
business face to face, have these relationships, not just go pump out, some ad on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, have 30 people sign up and never talk to them. We want to bring back that we're working together as a community and it's a community-based business. That's what hospitality is.
It is this is such an important differentiator. I hear a lot of information, I get a lot of messages about the different AI products, but what you are bringing to this is a history. And you're bringing the heart of it back with this AI tool, which I think is really valuable. How many people can say that they grew up in the hotel industry and have
Yeah.
seen the changes that have happened over the last several decades? I mean, it's insane. Was it you I was talking with who was painting this picture I can't get out of my mind of what hotel lobbies used to feel like? When you walk in, you become immediately part of it's a vibe, it's an energy, as you say, like, and you just feel it. And that happens so seldom. I can tell you two hotels I've been to in the last maybe 4 or 5 years where I've felt that. And one is actually in Boulder, the St. Julian. When I walk in, you just want to be part of it, and you don't really know why until the valet is right there for you, and then the front desk person, and it's like there are people. There
Yeah.
are people there, and they're interacting with you, and they're looking you in the eye, and they're engaging. And I've asked the staff on numerous occasions, tell me about your training. Why are you so attentive? Why do you look like you want to be here? And how sad that that stands out so much in this industry. It would be lovely if it were just that way everywhere you
Yeah.
went, right? And
Yeah,
you're
back
just
in the
like
day.
that.
I
Yeah.
know, and that's something too, growing up very blessed, to go to my father's properties and,
Oh,
go to Beaver Creek and Pebble Beach and Bacara and Santa Barbara. And so witnessing the best of the best, instills that mentality.
yeah.
And on that same note, what a great opportunity, right? So if you're a single
Yeah.
ownership, if you're a boutique hotel, there's no excuse for you failing. You can't say the market's bad, people aren't spending money, wah wah, right? Like none of that stuff's true. None of that's true. People are spending more money than ever, just not at your hotel, right? And the problem is single ownership see Marriott. They go, oh, I got to copy the big guy, right? Oh, the only way I'm going to work is if Aimbridge takes this management contract. That is the furthest thing from the truth. And that's what the key topic I wish I could tell the world, right? Like if I could tell you all one thing, that is a load of crap. That is an absolute load of crap. I have managed every brand in existence, everything. Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, IHG, you name it. Independent, luxury, rundown airport hotels, you name it. I have been involved in those assets. And all the ones that worked, the brand does not matter. Does not matter. I had a La Quinta that had perfect scores, crushed it, absolutely crushed it. Staff was happy. They were attentive. They took care of their guest, and the hotel performed. And so, if you're an owner of a independent hotel, now's the time. Like now is the
Yes.
time to make your statement, provide good service, and it hurts. I understand that, right? Being an owner's rep, I understand the pain. I know the pain on we all of our loans amortized in
It's not
2025
funny.
because
I'm
we all
laughing.
refied in COVID. We
Oh,
all refied in
right.
COVID.
Yeah.
They amortized this year. We saw 150% increase just on our interest rate. We saw staff go from $10 an hour to 22 in
Yeah.
most markets. A lot of pain. But at the same time, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your team. You're going to have to spend a little bit of money. You're going to have to put a little more energy into it. But in 90 days, 6 months,
Yeah.
you're going to see your hotel performing like it never has in the past. And right now is the key time to do that because people feel it. People feel it and they tell their friends. You know, and that's the thing too. When I train and I do hospitality courses, and when I work with this new generation, the key topic I always tell them is when you're interacting with the guests, you don't know what they just went through, right?
Right.
Flight delayed, 26 hours in the air, international travel, no taxi. Go to Denver International Airport, try to go rent a car. Good luck, right? Good luck trying to do that. It's a nightmare. They just went through hell and back. They're
Yeah.
checking. You give them attitude at check-in, you're done, right? They'll never go back
That's
to your
right.
hotel. But what does it cost you? It costs you 2 minutes of your time to be nice and engage. And the difference is that guest, when they go home and they're having a beer with friends or they're out at dinner, they're going to share that story. They're gonna go, it was crazy, worst day ever. Checked into the hotel and she was amazing. Like the front
Yeah.
desk was amazing and attentive. And they're gonna tell that story. And that story is gonna
Yes.
grow and it's gonna evolve. And that's how you build a brand. Like it's literally that simple. It starts with guest experience. It's
That's
not a
right.
marketing campaign. It's not
Right.
paying some press company
That's
200
right.
grand to go build you some stupid LinkedIn ad, right? That
That's
does nothing. You know the feed, right? Your LinkedIn's probably like mine. The feed is just all these pretty pictures of travel and tour. I don't care. I've never booked a room from that.
yeah.
Never. And I never will. That will never get me to use your product and spend my money. Never. But what will get me to spend my money is a friend telling me, oh man, I just went to this lodge out in
Yeah.
the BFE with my family and staff was attentive. and they were present. And I was shocked because every traveler today has a bad experience. 90% of the time is a bad experience. And I can say that because I travel with my kids a lot. We take them on trips a couple times a month. And my experience is bad. So 90% of the time is bad. I just accept it. We all accept it. But when I go to a hotel and have a good experience, right there, I'm a client for life. I will come
Yes.
back. I will make sure to use that property and bring my kids, even if they didn't enjoy it as much. I had a good experience. That's all that matters. Like that's it at the end of the day. But the problem is for hotel staff, they don't have time, right? They're running lean. We used to have 30 FTEs at front desk. Now we have eight. Sales departments, we used to have five, six sales reps per mid-size hotel. You now have two or three. So it's like you are doing the job of multiple people. I understand the employee's frustration because it's like, I don't have time. I got to go fill out my marketplace sales, which who cares? Why are we not tracking marketplace sales with tech? Like that's every
Right.
company I talk to. Why are we doing that by hand? Like, what do you
Right.
use technology, use it correctly so
Yeah.
your staff can be hospitable.
Yeah.
And that's what our brand is. Our sales agents are amazing. They're not there to replace your director of sales. Our sales agents that we build are to elevate your director of sales. They can replace sales coordinators and sales managers. They can. But that director tool is so important. That's the person engaging with clients, seeing the big picture, doing all that stuff.
Yeah. And gosh, so many things I want to respond to. Everything that you're sharing, Greg, is appropriate and applies to outdoor hospitality, obviously. It's no different than the boutique hotel. And that little section, when you said if you own a boutique hotel, you have no excuse to fail.
Yep.
That is a clip that is going to I'm going to have on repeat everywhere because this is what people need to hear. There's this kind of general contagious energy of fear about things, and people withdraw, they contract, they pull in at the very moment when what could get them what they want, which is massive success and happy guests and happy team, is to expand. And so you are actually providing a way wherein people can expand and they don't have to like add the other 28 people to the staff to be
Yep.
at the front desk. But every time you just pull in, that is felt. Your guests feel it. It like feels weird. It's like how many places feel like a ghost town to you?
Yep.
When you go in and you're just like, what is going on? You don't know, but you want the exact opposite of what is going on? Like, I'm feeling something here. Let's take the next step. And there's nowhere else that we really have the opportunity to do that except in hospitality. It's such a big opportunity. So I love everything you're saying, and it applies to outdoor hospitality. These little mom and pop RV resorts and campgrounds, this is your moment. It really
It
is.
is.
And those people are multitasking, I guarantee you. And they have the same problem like seasonal resorts, right? We have all the staff in the summer, and then how do we get through transition? This is your solution.
That is a good point. And you know what's funny? Because, we made an offer to buy a ski lodge here in Colorado.
Yeah,
And when we're going through the performa last night, I've never thought I would manage a hotel like this. But it's seasonal. It's a ski lodge,
yeah,
right? Ups and downs. And we are using temp task force labor to run events, right? And that's the business model
yeah.
where I'm going to deliver a really good experience for you, not with my full-time staff. And that's such a weird concept and it really hurts me to do that. But like you have to think outside the box to give that elevated experience because at the end of the day, you still got bills to pay, right? You still have these nuances. And so it is a really tough cookie to crack, but my generation, right? Anyone that's 40 and younger, the biggest talk we all have is, why am I going to a Marriott? Why am I going to a Hyatt? You can go to a Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, IHG. You can go to any one of those hotels. It feels the exact same. There's nothing different. You could walk
No.
into the lobby and go, I'll tell you the exact layout of this rectangle box. I'll tell you exactly what's going on here without ever going to this hotel before.
Yeah,
Nothing's unique. And then they push and throw down your throat, sign up for Bonvoy and our reward
that's
system, and
right.
you get $5 off. Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares
No one
anymore. No one
cares
cares about the
anymore.
points. Because at the end of the day, hotels got greedy. We're charging a fortune,
Yes.
for a terrible product, right? You get a little cubby room. There's no amenities. Everyone cut room service. Everyone cut the amenities.
I
That's what we pay
know. What
for.
is with
When we
that?
travel, we
No
pay for
room
that.
service? It's just,
I know. It
it's so,
kills me. And I'm like, no one wants to
it's like,
pay
why am I
290.
here? Yeah.
Yep.
You know
At
what's
300 bucks.
interesting too, that just popped in my mind. I want to address this is that so Marriott, when they built the autograph collection, right?
Yes.
They're trying to emulate, they're trying to just copy the boutique hotel model, right? So they do that. Now they're doing the same thing with outdoor hospitality, right? They come in and they say, okay, we too are outdoor hospitality, but it's no different than what you're saying. I do love a couple of the autograph collections, but it's not because you walk in and you're like, okay, you can kind of see that they're trying to be something. They aren't that something. It is a
No.
persona that they're putting on. But the reason I love, like in Fort Collins, is only because of the manager and because he loves his people and he pushes against. I hope Marriott doesn't hear get him in trouble for this,
Yeah.
but he pushes against, the Bonvoy thing. Like, don't be Marriott, be love, be hospitable, be hospitality, show up. And I think it's really interesting how Marriott's trying to do that in outdoor hospitality too. It's fine because it gives us the opportunity to be better and be unique and wake up and remember who you are and like why you're doing this in the first place. Why are you in hospitality? Not for spreadsheets and to fill in your little whatever you're
Yep.
saying that is from manually managing things, but um, they're just putting on a costume and it's not, it loses the soul. You're talking about using tech to keep the soul in hospitality,
Correct.
which is just makes
That's the
sense.
whole goal, right? And
Yeah.
that's what, for small ownerships groups, it's expensive to hire a salesperson. It really is. And
Yeah.
right now, there's not as much of a sales funnel as 2019, right? Our term for it is the voice of God. That's what we call it. The phone just rings. You would be like, "Hello, what do you want?" "I don't care what you want. You're going to pay 50,000, Bert." And it just kept ringing. That was 2019, right?
Yeah.
And then we got out of COVID, so 2023, you had 2 years of backed up events and
Yes.
travel that blew the market up. This is
Right.
real, right? What we are experiencing is real. And if people don't make hotels better, it's going to get worse. Because what's going to
Yes.
happen is my generation now is like, I'm just going to do one trip, but I'm going to go to Germany. I'm going to
Right.
go overseas. International travel, crushing it, absolutely crushing
Yeah.
it. So you can't tell me they don't have money. Your product sucks, right? Your product and your service sucks. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're going to get worse. You're going to make the travel and tourism worse. And I wish like government and these big brands and people would understand the biggest funding arm for our nation is travel and tourism. Why do
Yes.
you think restaurants are busy downtown? Not from locals. Nope, sorry. Right? That's people traveling in for a major convention. That's what's selling you out. It's not Jimmy living in the condo up the street. And
That's
so
right.
no one really is putting these pieces together. And you see restaurants closing here in Denver. We have 1 to 3 restaurants closing every month. Every
That's
month travel's
horrible.
down. Travel's
Yeah.
we're not creating a good guest experience. And that's our fault, right? It's our
Uh,
fault. We're providing this experience in this business model, but we're not fulfilling what the guest wants. And all you do is open your ears. And that's the conversation. A lot of owners get mad at me or when I'm training because I'm like, you're not
yeah.
listening. You're not listening to the traveler. You're doing your spreadsheet you're firing staff, you're making guest experience worse, and then you're complaining your hotel's not performing? Like, what? It's pretty straightforward. Like, you just provide good service, these experiences. But at the end of the day, owners don't know how. They really don't. They were raised in the 2009, right? During the recession, they're starting to learn
True.
hotels, and they're
Yeah.
now in another recession.
Right.
They don't know the 1990s. They don't know early 2000s. They don't know what made hospitality amazing.
Hmm.
Those are the good years. These are not. So they don't know how to do this stuff. And that's why we built this company. You know, seasoned hotel professional, been around for a while, even though I'm relatively young. And so we're able to consult and work with you. And we have an affordable product. So your P&L is not getting trashed. It's not going to hurt you financially, but you're going to get these resources and these tools to fill in the gaps to provide better service, in return, make your hotel more profitable. But two, your staff don't
Yeah.
hate our AI company. You go to any other AI business in this world right now, what are they posting? Fire your staff today and get
I
AI.
know
It's like,
it.
no, no, because now
Yeah,
the staff are going to fight you
that's right.
embedding AI. We're going to work with
Right.
your employees. We're going to take work off their plate to let them do a better job. They're not going to be as stressed. AI is going to handle that stress for them. So now you have a happy employee and you have a happy owner. So what does that mean? Your guest is going to feel better. You know, we have this AI concierge that is amazing, right? We were actually working with Resorts World, had this whole thing. I'm sure you've seen it all over the news. They've gone through the ringer a little bit. And so we were building this huge concierge application for them. And we can implement it anywhere now that that contract's dead. So we have the tech, but we built these agents where you check in and it pops up on your phone and it will talk. Do you want a reservation? Like what restaurant do you want? It
Oh,
manages
I
your
love
life
that.
while you're in the hotel. And when you check out, it deactivates. So now you have to go back to that hotel to have this kick-ass AI agent. So it gets you to bring business back to your hotel. So that's another tool. And then our sales tool, that's the biggest one. We just signed with Margaritaville. So we're
Yeah.
launching Nashville this week. We're doing Times Square next week, and we'll keep onboarding it. So if you have an event space, or if you have meeting space, or if you do group blocks, we built these sales agents that handle the whole call, right? We do a complete blueprint of your business, of your hotel, restaurant, whatever it is, event center. And then what we build is a very smart agent, and it handles all these inbound requests. And then it types the whole thing up, condenses an hour-long sales pitch into one page, emails it to the owner, the decision maker. They can just respond yes. And
That's
just, yep,
incredible.
that works.
Do
So
you know
your
how many
RFPs.
hours?
Oh yeah.
What
And that's the
agony?
thing.
It's like you're bypassing the agony to get to the crux of the matter, the thing that really makes the difference. That's phenomenal. That's a
That
tr
one's big.
Yeah.
Yep. And
For
that's what I'll
anybody
tell
that's
you,
ever done that.
real
Yeah.
life experience here in Colorado. One of my clients spent 30 days calling 1 to 5 hotels a day. Never heard back from the sales departments. Got a
Oh,
hold of me. We did a $2.5 million deal. And he gave me every contract he has just because I answered the phone. But like, it's not that hard. Just answer the phone. But he called all these hotels a month. No one responded to him. Right. And that's what this AI is. It is that safety net. It's going to capture every potential piece of business. Let your sales team go out and find new business. Because if that phone is ringing, that business is coming. Why do
yeah.
you have a human managing inbound
It
business?
right. It makes no s- We have to elevate our thinking. We have
Yep.
to learn what we're here for. I think we've really become robots ourselves. Like we really, okay, we got to learn all the software. I got to, I mean, actually, I'm guilty. I was doing this last night, manually doing something, and then it was like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? But these are opportunities for us to elevate ourselves, our intelligence to a higher ordinance and let AI do the other things, right? Gosh, there was something I was going to ask you, but I don't remember. That you're giving out so much information. So what do you want to talk about next? I'll grab my question. I think I had a couple.
No, you're good. That's just honestly
Oh,
the
I just
industry as
remembered.
a whole. Let your question go and then,
Yeah. Okay, what I just remembered was when you said let your salespeople go out into the
correct.
community. Now, we have lost that too.
Yes,
How powerful it is when someone just walks up and starts to. I do it all the time, and people are just like, wow, are you really interested? What do you want? No, you just want to connect, and people are starving for that. And I just think, again, we're unleashing the humanity in everyone by using AI properly. And back to this seasonal staffing, I think this could be so wonderful and also enhance the seasonal groups. I used to run a seasonal business, and honestly, I thought of it like having summer camp every summer. Like these are the new these
yeah.
are the new people coming in, and everybody
The
gets
J1s.
the
Yep.
J1s, you get all trained, but the community becomes really involved too, especially if you're just bringing in like third party event people or whatever, depending on your property. It's an opportunity to deepen those relationships and educate them. And I don't know, we just have to work together as humans and not, well, we tend to somehow neglect the most important thing. And
I agree.
what you're doing is, oh, this is what I was going to say too. Instead of like second to the guest, as an owner, your responsibility is to who? Your staff. And this is a way, as you mentioned, to serve your staff. Like we're doing this for you because we know that you are designed for something bigger, better. And that's what staff needs you to believe in them. Part of the reason they're so depressed is that no one believes that they have any value.
Yes.
You got to
No,
show
and it's a shame. And
it.
that's what hospitality was founded on is working as a team. It's your second family.
Yes.
My wife and I relocated from Idaho. Idaho is not here. It is so polar opposite from here. We had a community. All of us managers of hotels would get together weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. We had seminars together. When my children were born, we threw a party at the hotel. Housekeepers brought diapers. We had dinners together, and it was a celebration with our staff for the birth of my children. Colorado, no, no. Worst environment ever. And I've been trying to build a hospitality network, and all these hotel managers like, yeah, we need to do this. Nothing. They don't show up. And I don't
Oh.
know if it's because, again, the lockdown never happened in Idaho. So we don't know what it's like to live indoors for
Mm.
2 years. And maybe that's what killed the environment here. Everyone was locked inside for 2 years, and that's the life they want. We paid people to stay home and do nothing. And now they use that as the baseline evaluation for work. They're like, I
Oh,
was making money
that's
staying home
so
doing nothing.
disheartening.
Yeah, now you
Oh
want me to
gosh.
come in and work? No, I'm going to stay home. Sales teams. I was downtown Denver 2 weeks ago talking to some of the bigger hotels down there. I won't say who. And 80% of their sales team is off site. What good does that
How
do?
does
Like,
that make
it
sense?
doesn't do any good. You're not there. You should be. We have a term called a lobby lizard, and the
Yes,
lobby
you
lizard
were
would
the
walk
one.
around.
Okay, the
Yeah,
lobby wizard.
lobby lizards, and that's dead. I loved it. I would always walk into my restaurants or go up front in the front desk and talk to people at Starbucks, talk to my clients in the event, talk to the AV guy. No reason to talk to him. I'm just gonna go talk to him. But you never know what that brings in business wise. And having those relationships is the foundation for the success of your hotel. That's the one thing I could get through to current owners that are struggling. It's like that's the foundation. It's not that hard, right? So these inbound calls, why are you paying somebody $70,000 a year to answer a phone? Actually, they don't answer. Let me take
You
that
know
back. They
what?
don't even answer. Yeah.
Right.
It's a waste of money. Have AI do it. Have AI do that. Your sales manager will love you for having it do that because if they're a real sales rep, they want to
They
go out.
want to be
They
out in the
want to talk to
world.
people. They want to do
Yeah,
networking, right?
that's
Bring that back. Bring it back. And that's why
right.
we're kind of a contradiction. All these AI companies are trying to replace people and you can fire the. We're like, don't fire anyone. No, we're the opposite. We're affordable too, but we're going to help you get back on the right track. Have your team go out, network, meet, greet, spend time with guests. We can change and elevate every single department. So now your staff's happy. They get to have time to do what they originally thought they were going to do. You have ownership happy. The job is still getting done. Their daily tasks are getting done. Way more efficient, though. Way more efficient, right? My
Mhm.
agents handle 6 calls at the same time. So you never have a clogged line. It speaks 30 languages. Somebody calls in Spanish, and right now with international travel being what we all need, you got to have that. But I mean, how many times when I manage hotels, somebody calls in, they don't speak English, and I'm like, I can't take the business. I can't take it because I don't know what
Yeah,
you're saying. Now you have a tool, and even if you have an employee that is talking to the guest, they're speaking a different language, you can just transfer right to the AI. Go, give me 1 second. Transfer right to the AI, have them interact in that language. It emails you a report in English with what's going on. You're good. You didn't lose the business. It's a tool to make sure you never miss out on potential business. That's what we build. Everything custom, everything scratch. It will work for your business. Um, yeah, so it's a time to get hotels back on the right track.
it is.
That's what I hope for.
Now, everyone who I know we're coming to the end of our time, so everyone who's listening, can you imagine just the value of even having a conversation with Greg? Listen to his experience and history and what he's brought to the table. I think this is such a valuable, important conversation to have, and the timing is perfect. So, how do people get in touch with you? And I'll
Yes,
put
so they
links and
can.
everything below, but you can tell them if they happen to be listening now.
Yeah, interested in the AI and you want consulting on tech and or hotels, restaurants, we have a few different categories there. Just go directly to noblehost.ai. You can interact. We have an agent built into our site, Jeffrey. Go talk to Jeffrey, right? You will see firsthand what we do. Jeffrey will tell you everything. That is not a human, that is AI. And so interact with him. We have contacts on there, or you can always directly email me, and it's just greg@noblehost.ai. And more than happy to help out on hospitality questions, things like that, or even introduce some of these ownerships to a great management company. Here to be a resource. I have some downtime before we pick up this property, and that's why, I'm grateful we connected. I have a couple
Yeah,
months focused on AI, focused
yeah,
on consulting before we secure this property. And yeah, now's the best time, especially in Colorado. A lot of these markets, we're going into slow season. We
that's
saw
right.
occupancy drop by 50% just in the last 3 weeks. And unfortunately, 2026 is worse, 70% behind for the majority of hotels with forecast bookings. So, we're going into a slippery slope. It's act now or you're going to be too late, unfortunately.
Act now, everyone. And outdoor hospitality, this is absolutely the perfect time of year because you're looking at what your season was like, you're planning for next season. If you're a campground, RV resort, whatever, this is the time to get these things in place. So, and I have a special code for anybody that watches this, which is Michelle 025. And when you call Greg or you email him or however you reach out to him, I recommend pick up the phone. He actually answers the phone.
Yes.
It's a very refreshing experience. You can give him that code, Michelle 025, and you will receive 20% off of your investment. This is wonderful. I think the timing was divinely orchestrated because this is going to make a huge difference for people. And outdoor hospitality, especially, people are learning. It's like, how do we, oftentimes we talk about bringing hotel best practices into outdoor hospitality. Well, you don't even have to go into that. It's bring one thing, be hospitable, and
Yep.
use tech in a way that facilitates that. And Greg just gave you the answer. It's really simple. It's shockingly affordable. So reach out and have the conversation and change people's lives. You guys, that's why we're in the business. It's not, don't sit in your dark house watching Netflix, filling out your P&L.
Yep. That is so true. And the same thing on a final note for hotel new ownerships, people scared. It's a big job. It's a very big job. You cannot fix everything. Bites. You got to do it in bite size. You fix the very first thing that you get ROI. That's the focus. The rest will come. But yeah, you cannot flip a hotel. Everyone thinks they can turn it around in 2, 3 weeks. No, no. It's a very long process. But if you do it correctly, at least you can start to see some ROI in the first couple of weeks. Then you just chip away at it. But yeah, to your point, start with the culture, focus on building back what was great. Hospitality was great, and I think Airbnb scared people. And now everyone's just in this motion like, poor me, poor me. The economy is so bad. I can't perform. I could walk you through a laundry list of hotels crushing it, absolutely crushing it in the United States. There's Vegas hotels doing well. My brother's hotel, Fountain Blue in Las Vegas, they're doing well. And all you see is bad PR about Vegas being in the dumpster.
Yeah,
Why is
what?
his hotel doing well? Like there's these very simple things. Money's out there, business is out there. You're not, right? That's the end of the conversation. You're not. You're looking to cut. You're not looking to enhance. So do it in little bite sizes, partner with the right people, be hospitable, and your hotel will thrive. Doesn't matter what brand it is. Yeah,
It's excellent advice. I appreciate you
perfect.
very, very much and your time and sharing. And this was such an important conversation. Greg, I'm really looking forward to working with you in the future and just lots of gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Absolute pleasure. Looking forward to chatting soon. Take care.